About 2 years ago, I began my investing journey, putting around $3,000 into my taxable brokerage account. When I turned freshly 18, I took money that I had been saving my whole life, thrown it into a brokerage account, and I expected to make millions. And now it didn't work out quite as I planned, but it did go pretty well. And today I have a huge announcement for you guys, which is going to be that we hit $50,000 in our main taxable brokerage account. We're also aiming to hit $10,000 in our Roth IRA coming up later this month. So it has been a very, very interesting few years for us here. And so today we're going to be doing a $50,000 portfolio update for you guys. We're going to go ahead and break down every single holding within my taxable brokerage account and my Roth IRA. I'm going to let you guys see my full profits in their entirety, my average cost, my market value. Everything is going to be put into one single video for you guys. So as always, please drop a like and subscribe. And also make sure you guys do click the first link in our description down below. Join up on our free Discord that we have now been growing for over a year and a half. We have over 600 plus profitable members over there, so we'd love to have you guys over there. Also, make sure you guys do drop a comment what video you guys want to see next. We have seen a lot of bullish inflow into stuff like Oscar and Hims and Hood, which we have been talking about for a very long time. So give me your feedback. Let me know what you guys want to listen to and watch next, and let's jump into this video. Before I show you guys the portfolio, I want to make sure that if you are scared of the color green, please turn this video off and block my account, because that is all that we have over here. And as you guys can see, we are bright green today, being up around $2,700, now bringing my portfolio over 52,000. Of course, we have to drop right back down under 52,000 right when I mention it, but nonetheless, we are up around 5.63% today. And as you guys can see, at highs, we were up around 6.5%. up around $3,300. Now it has been a killer day, of course, but it has also been a killer week. I have been up around $4,100, and that is after being down around $2,000 at the end of last week, coming off of some of that war news. Looking at our 1 month right here, we are up around $4,300, or around 9% of our account. And now going into our 3-month chart, this is where it gets very, very interesting. Coming off of those April lows, we saw an absolute explosion with our account. And you guys can see that we made around $20,000 in the last 3 months alone. That is going to be around 56% of my portfolio. And now obviously this has just been an absolute insane gain, but I do not think this is done. Once we do flip over to the year-to-date chart, you guys can see I am up around 32%, obviously severely outpacing the S&P 500, and I expect that to continue for the rest of this year. You guys can see that I was down around $10,000 at those April lows on around April 8th. My account did actually hit $25,000 at one point. Obviously that hurt a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that I kept buying these strong companies, and they are obviously paying off, which you guys will see in today's video. I have a very measly 5 holdings within my portfolio, but these are 5 very, very powerful holdings. So let's go ahead and break these down and see what they're all about. A quick disclaimer before we do jump into my holdings. I have made a lot of sales over the last few weeks. We sold things like ASTS for about a $1,300 gain. We sold Arrow for about a $400 gain. We have also made a bunch on calls. I will throw a few of these up on the screen because we have made an absolute bag over the last few weeks. Now, all of that money has now gone into other shares of new companies. So let's dive right in and check out where I allocated all my brand new cash. Jumping into our first stock on today's list, we have a name that may make some of our premium members cry. This is going to be Oscar Health. Our premium members have made an absolute bag off of Oscar Health, and so have I, which I will show you guys in just a second. But we have made money off of this, not only on the call side of things, which I'll throw up right here, but also on the stock side of things, as this stock is now up 15% today, 16% today, up to around $18.72. Just earlier this week, this name looked like it was headed towards the 12s, and then it absolutely rallied after we got some bullish news on some Medicare tax cuts, and since then this stock has rallied about 30% in just about 2.5 days. But looking at my portfolio and my position right here, you guys can see I have around 652 shares of Oscar Health at an average price of around $14.57. That brings my market value to just about $12,230. And as you guys can see, I am now up around 28% on this position. So coming into this week, I was right around break even. I believe I was actually down around $100 on Oscar. And just about 2.5 days later, I am now up $2,700 on this position. Looking just today, we are up around 1,600 or around 16%. And with my portfolio diversity being around 23%, this is obviously a large reason that I am up around $3,000 today. But I believe that Oscar is not going to stop here. If we look on the 5-year chart, you guys can see we have this nice cup and handle move. I have multiple videos linked in my account if you guys want to go see a more in-depth breakdown. The last video that I posted, I alerted Oscar Health when it was back in the 14s, and since then we have seen a 30% gain. So make sure you guys do go check out those videos, and let's go ahead and jump into our second stock on today's list. Taking a look at holding number 2 and 3, we're going to group these two holdings together because they are brand new positions within my portfolio. Like I spoke about, I made profits from ASTS, HIMS calls, and Arrow's IPO, and I took a lot of those profits and I put them into these two holdings, and those two holdings are going to be Tesla and Zetta. As I jump over to Tesla's chart here, you guys can see that is up around 2% today, and they're sitting at around $322. And when I scroll down showing you guys my position, I have around 23 shares for a market value of around $7,500. I'm down around $130, so nothing major. I'm up around $140 today, so it is looking better. And then my average cost is going to be around $328. Really not much to look at there. And checking out Zetta here, another new position within my portfolio. I'm up around $6 on this stock, so it is absolutely exploding, of course. No, I'm just kidding. I added this stock just yesterday, so of course it is brand new within my portfolio. I have a measly 115 shares for about $1,400 in market value, but I really do like this company. They have been in this nice little downtrend. I just posted a video on them recently, and I do think with them in this nice little wedge formation, and they have absolutely killer financials, over 60% insider ownership. This name is looking really primed for a leg up, and I expect this name to make all-time highs by the end of next year. That is going to be around a 300% gain over the next 12 to 16 months. So if you guys want to learn more about that, make sure you guys do check out the last video that I posted. Yet again, these stocks are blowing up, so make sure you guys do get the full thesis from me before jumping into these stocks. But things are really going to start to heat up with these next two positions, so let's go ahead and jump into holding number 4. Now, we're going to be saving the best for last, but coming in our 4 hole, we have Robinhood, ticker symbol HOOD. Now, Robinhood has been absolutely killing it, being up around 5% today, pushing $80. I expect this name to see $85 to $90 by the end of July, so just about a 1 month time. We have a good bit of calls resting on Hood, so we're expecting a nice little push higher. As you guys can see, they're up around 8% this week, and they're up around 26% over the last month. Over the last 3 months, they have almost doubled, and I've seen this reign true in my portfolio. I'm now up around 72% on Robinhood for a gain of around $6,600. I have 201 shares for about a $45 average cost, and that brings my market value to around $15,755. Now, last night, the director on their board just claimed that he bought I believe $2 million worth of stock, which is absolutely amazing to see a company growing at this rate, the stock rising at this rate, and we're seeing them continue to buy on the inside. This is a very good sign. I like to tell people that whenever insiders are selling, they could be selling for a multitude of reasons, but there's only one reason that you buy stocks, and that is to make a profit. And Hood has obviously done a great job at making people profit. This stock has been absolutely killing it. And looking at the 1 year up being up 250% to looking at the 5 year and just now breaking positive, being up around 106%, most of that coming this year. As you guys can see simply on the Robinhood chart, if you draw a imaginary line across, you guys can see how well we flipped support to resistance and how well they have bounced off of these levels. As you guys can see, we broke through, then we came back, we tested it, and we broke back out, pushing back towards the upside, gave the company even more time to continue to operate well on the financials, and that is paying dividends hugely. This company is looking to bring in more money than ever. They have more customers than ever, and they have more money flowing through their app than ever. This company is really going to see $100 before the end of this year, and I believe that they could see $150 if they continue to accurately bang these markets. Now, with stuff coming out like their betting odds, being able to bet on stuff like the Pacers game and all this absurd stuff, all of this is going to be money in their pockets. Whether you are winning or losing these bets, the losers are always going to be the payers, and they are paying this company a great deal. If this company is able to take all of this brand new cash and put it into the correct investments, I believe that Robinhood could see $100 by the end of this year. and I believe that they could see $120 to $150 by summer of next year if a bull market is to continue and Hood is to continue to operate on their financials. But they have been killing it as of late, and that is my Hood thesis. So let's go ahead and jump into our fifth and final stock on today's video. This is going to be the biggest gaining stock within my portfolio, and the gains are pretty great to look at. So let's go ahead and jump into our fifth stock. Rounding out our portfolio and coming in the 5 hole, we're going to have HIMS. Now, this company has been a staple in my portfolio for some time now. I first called it out when it was at $18 just last year. And since then, this company has ran to over $70, back down to around $25, and then back all the way up to around $60 where it sits today. Now, over the last 3 months, this company has been up around 79%. And over the year-to-date time frame, it is up around 150%. This company has been absolutely killing it, just like I said in the stock chart reflects that. Scrolling down to my position here, you guys can see today we are up around $450. I have around 250 shares of HIMS at an average price of around $30. I did actually bring my average price up from around $22 to around $30 on this most recent dip. I wanted to make sure that I got more shares because I understood that this company was worth much more than that $25 it was sitting at those April lows. And it looks like that paid off well, being up around 104% today. Now we are looking at around a $8,000 gain. And with prices looking to reach all-time highs in the coming weeks, we should see north of a 5-figure gain in HIMS. Now, I'm very excited to post a video on that because you guys know that will be out when it does occur. But that brings my market value to almost $15,300. Now, HIMS has been absolutely killing it, like I have said, but over the last year, they have been up around 158%, and over the last 5 years, they have been up 509%. And even with a run-up of that much over the last few years, I still believe that this company can 5x from where they are today. Now, coming in with a current market cap of around $13.6 billion, I believe that this company could and will be worth $100 billion someday in the future. Now, I'm not going to act like that's going to come later this year or next year. That is a target for maybe 2030 to 2032, something that will happen in the next 5 to 10 years. But nonetheless, getting in now and holding for the long term is the way to go. We also make a lot of great premium off of our calls. I'm looking to start selling covered calls on other things like Oscar and HIMS and Hood. So we'll kind of play around with that and see how that goes. But for now, HIMS has been absolutely killing it in my portfolio. And like I said, I expect to see around 150% gain and a 5-figure next to my total return in the next few weeks. And like I said, I expect $100 by the end of this year and $120, $150, even maybe $180 if this company is to continue to work outside of this country and we are able to see them diversify over the whole entire globe. But there's a lot of what ifs right there. But for now, this company is killing it. They could even excel much higher. So that leads me to believe that this company is going to be one for the future. And that is why I have chosen to lead with HIMS. Now, I quickly want to hit on my Roth IRA because I have a bit different of an investment thesis over here. I have around $8,700 in my portfolio here with about a $1,200 gain coming in the past 3 months or around 16.5%. But taking a look at my positions here, I have around 12.5 shares of UNH, 2.24 shares of VUG, about 35 shares of SCHD, and 11.5 shares of SMH. But looking at these positions very quickly, you guys can see at UNH, I'm up around 3% for about a $100 gain. In the Roth, it's a nice little gain there. I'm actually making $27 off of their dividend. So it is really nice to hold a company, get a nice little dividend, and also play a rebound in a nice falling stock that is obviously undervalued right now. I've also made around 10% on VUG for about an $88 gain. Nothing too crazy there. I've pulled off a nice few little short trades on Oscar and HIMS in my portfolio, which have actually gained a lot in my Roth here. So that is where most of that profit is coming from. But you guys can see I'm also up around $21 on SCHD, and they should be paying a dividend coming soon, which I believe would be around $12 if I am correct. And then also SMH, which is up around $64 for me. And like I said, I have around 11.5 shares. So nothing too crazy over in the Roth IRA, but as that does continue to grow, and I am looking to max out my Roth IRA for 2025 as I did in 2024. So let's keep chugging and see how far we can take this thing. All right, guys, and that's going to wrap up every single holding within my $50,000 portfolio. Now, this was, of course, my $50,000 portfolio milestone update, so it'd mean a lot if you guys could drop a like and subscribe. Also, make sure you guys do click that description and join up on our free Discord. Also, thank you guys very much for sticking with me. It does mean a lot that you guys watch every single video, and if you made it to the end, make sure you guys do use code PROFIT in our premium so you guys can get 30% off any purchase for the next few weeks. And I will see you guys in the next one.